Good morning, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon. I know a lot of people are from different parts of the world, and thanks for joining us for our once again a great webinar, uh, delivering you a very important topic for the day. And as I speak, I just wanted to show that today's topic would be about converting training presentation into e-learning modules. You will hear more about what we're going to cover in today's webinar by Dr. Rao. That will speak more about the guest speaker as well. So my name is Shazor Ali. I am a part of IIHRD. We are Our goal is to bring good knowledge to you for free, for especially targeting the upcoming freshers or the students who are in their final year of institutes, who are getting ready to come into the real world of corporate or a real world of finding jobs and stuff like that. So me and Dr. Rao are made our goal to give out good real time education, what is happening in in real world, to help you get ready with right after you pass out of the college, what you expect, what are the trending topics, what are the trending subjects that are in the market. So if you are coming for the first time on this webinar, please go visit our website iihrd.com and see the events that we have done from past 2020. End of 2020, we started doing webinars for the larger audience worldwide. So there were a very interesting topics that were covered. It may be into data science, it may be into getting for your how to get ready for your first job, how to curate your resume or CV, stuff like that. I mean, it's very fresh content. It is very new. It is very. We actually are working with the good guests to come and speak with their experience in when where they are expert in their domains. So, without further delay, I would invite Dr. Rao to come on stage and speak more about today's webinar and today's guest speaker, Miss Malpani. So, Dr. Rao, can you please share your thoughts? Thank
Yeah,
you.
hi. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Nurchinjara Mangipuri. I am working as visiting professor for Mallaradi University School of Business Management, Hyderabad. Besides working as besides working at Texas India Private Limited, which is an IT product company, as a HRBP. So we are very happy to receive the responses from all over the world, maybe a few parts of the world and pan India, and we have received so many queries from different countries, different parts of the world, like Singapore, Malaysia, Egypt, Ghana, Philippines, Latin America, US, and there's a huge participation across India and a few parts of the world. So this is our 12th webinar, and we are doing just to bridge the gap between industry and the academia. We wanted to build the bridges between these two entities imperatives, because we thought the students that are coming out, passing out, the campuses should get ready to take the employment in the corporate sector. So as a we requested Miss Malpani, Miss Mansi Malpani. She immediately accepted our request, and then we have to schedule this webinar. And I would like to introduce Miss Malpani, the speaker of the day, without any further delay. Ms. Malpani, Mansi Malpani is the co-founder of First Impressions Training Solutions Private Limited, which is into a corporate training organization, and she built the resume and for both C-level executive profile rating with 12 plus years of experience in training and development. And also she creates the profiles, designs, conceptualizes the profiles for C-suite positions. And she's now based in Hyderabad. Miss Malpani, I think you can take over the session without any further delay. Now the time is almost, we are behind 17 minutes delay.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thanks, Mr. Rao, and thanks, Shazur, to invite me for such an important session which everybody is talking about today. And thanks for the introduction, Mr. Rao. So before we go ahead, I would just like to give a little brief about my experience into training, and why this topic has become so much, that talk of the day, the talk of the town, and it has become so much important for all the educators out here. So basically, being an electronics engineer and then MBA in HR and working with corporates for a few years, I moved into full-time training, corporate training, and it's been almost 12 years now into training. So yes, most part of it I must say was classroom training, because that's what we were used to all these years. And then of course, slowly as the e-learning fever uh, it started, that's when we actually also moved into e-learning training. And I've been fortunate enough to be speaking to the senior management in the corporates. That's when I really realized the importance for creating their brand, maybe online branding, let it be LinkedIn, the LinkedIn branding, or we speak about creating executive profiles. That's what interested me in few years time. And that's when I founded the organization called as Resume Excellence, which basically deals into writing all C-level executive profiles. So that can be executive bios or profiles. When I say, it's more like resumes for them. And also, I've been fortunate to have a team to co-create training management software called as Trainomatics, which basically helps organization to manage their training online. Okay, so this is how my journey of getting into a classroom training, understanding online personal branding, and then also understanding how to manage things online has helped me understand technology better. And it has also helped me how do I inculcate or probably change with the digitalization of the world. So, guys, very good morning to all of you. And today I'm going to talk about how we are going to convert PPT to e-learning modules, something which is very important for all of us. So before I do that, I'll just start, share my screen. Okay, I hope you can view my screen now. So, the first thing, most of us, we generally have a question, what's e-learning? Rather, few of the questions that I have received from the audience is, what basically is e-learning? Because this is something which is being used all this while. So, to make it very, very simple, I know e-learning is something which you do virtually, which is, on digital. But there are basically three types of e-learnings that happen. Okay, the first is the virtual session. The virtual session is something like, if I have to say, when I enter a classroom, so it can be a corporate classroom or in school or colleges where I have limited number of audience. So rather than standing in front of the audience and giving them the training, I am in front of the laptop and giving them the training. So that's a virtual session. So generally, it has limited numbers. You can have a one-on-one discussion with the participant. They may have a query and you can just answer them immediately, something like that. So that's a virtual session. The second is e-learning video. Now, e-learning video basically is creating your creating a content or trying to explain things, whatever your topic of expertise is, and saving it in a form of video which can be accessible to all your participants anywhere, anytime. Okay, that's an e-learning video. So you'll never have a live audience here. Okay, and third very important thing is webinar. So webinar is something what we are having it right now. So I have huge number of audience currently, and here basically the motto or the objective will be to talk about and my area of expertise. And yes, I cannot have a one-to-one discussion with you because the numbers are huge here. The only objective is to impart knowledge. Yes, of course, we can have a Q&A round later, but yes, webinars is basically to impart knowledge and not have a face-to-face, even a virtual face-to-face communication. So basically, these are three e-learning types we have. Now, all three will have a different objective, and hence, all three, the content or the way it is being delivered will be very different. Okay, but today we are going to talk about e-learning video. That's our basic or the most important point. So what basically are e-learning videos? Now, e-learning videos will, the educators take their courses to the next level by converting their course into a video format. Now many people think, since this pandemic has pushed everybody to just go online overnight, so with no formal training, most of the educators tend to convert their existing PPTs into video format, is what they thought. Okay, but of course, e-learning video is very important, but that's not how it is done. However, e-learning video is very, very important, and we need to understand what are the major benefits of it. Okay, because it's not just about your 100, 200, or 1,000 audience that you have, or the students that you have, or the participants that you have. There's much more to e-learning video. Now, one of the major benefits of e-learning video is it's like, a one-time work with lifelong participants and great earnings. So let me focus on this point. See, if, suppose, you create a video today, okay, and you put it online somewhere. You don't really have to repeat it again. The work is done once. You will have participants every time who will just log in and see your video. All right, but most important is that there will be a huge earning. So every time somebody sees your video, of course, or your course, the e-learning video course, they would certainly have, there are certain fees, and you will always have some earning through it. Okay, second, it is accessible anytime for your participants. Now, even in this webinar, if you see, we have participants logging from different countries. Okay, and your videos or your training would also be accessible to participants from different countries, different time zones, and different time of availability. So the major the major benefit is it can be accessible anytime and anywhere for your participants. Now, this becomes more important because today's generation is more like, so I'm going to learn when I have the time, right? And going further, it is just going to get into the same mode. So it becomes accessible to them. Now, third, the most again, one of the important things is it's not restricted to those 100, 200, or 1,000 participants. You have almost 7.9 billion prospective clients all across the world. Imagine the kind of the views that you're going to have, the kind of the people are going to these are the number of people who are going to see your videos, learn from you. Okay, and fourth, earn a lifetime by creating video once. Again, I would like to stress on this topic because I'm rather going to share you certain facts also, that how people have really earned since they have started e-learning videos and uploading it on certain platforms. So that becomes very, very important to you. Okay, like The platforms can be Byju's, it can be Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, YouTube. These are various platforms where people actually post their videos, right? So it's not that once you create an e-learning video, it is just for your college, just for the corporates, just for your clients. It's not like that. The world is watching you, okay? And these are the platforms who are making it accessible, your videos accessible to everybody, right? Now, here again, a very important thing. I know you have a one time work, a lifelong participants, good earnings, but majorly it creates a personal brand. Okay, there it wouldn't have been really possible to know the experts into Excel training, or the experts into SharePoint training, or the experts into accounting, unless you are there online, unless there are people who would view your videos, unless they would learn from you online. So the more people know you, that's where you create your personal branding. And since I have worked with clients on personal branding, I realize how much important it is for your career growth. Okay, having an online personal branding makes you accessible to so many people around the world, and there cannot be a better way in actually sharing your knowledge and your expertise to people around the world. Okay, now if you see here, I had created a small video on a 5T method for communicating bad news. And I posted it on LinkedIn, and I got almost 5,000 views and 35 comments. The more important is 5,000 people have viewed my video, and that too just in a week. Now, generally, if you just write a post on LinkedIn, max you can go to 200, 300, 500 views. That's all. But believe me, if you create a video and post it there, the views increase 5 to 10 times more. Now, that's the effect of having an e-learning video, and that's how you actually build up your personal branding. And hence, I would really like to stress that please try to create videos, okay, so that you're not restricted to limited audience. Now, there's a certain facts. Udemy is, if you know, one of the co-founders of Udemy is an Indian, okay, and I believe it was founded somewhere in 2010 or so. And in all this while, it has created 1,55,000 courses. It has almost 4 crore plus customers and almost 30,000 instructors on Udemy. Now imagine the kind of bandwidth, imagine the kind of participants, the audience who's there only on Udemy. So I'm not talking about other platforms like LinkedIn Learning, or even YouTube, which may have much more audience. But for Udemy, this is the figures. Okay, so this is what you actually are going to deal with. Rather, a report in year 2015 with top Udemy instructor. This is something I really want to highlight. If you see, almost 1,20,000. The one of the top instructors had 1,20,000 students and almost $2.8 million earnings, and that was in 2015. Imagine post during pandemic, or at least for last 2-3 years, when this industry has shown almost a 25 or a 30 times growth, online growth. Imagine the kind of earnings these people would have got. Rather, the second instructor, best instructor, he has earned almost $90,000. Oh, sorry, $9 lakh, and the third almost $6,50,000. And this is again, I repeat, in year 2015. Imagine the kind of growth they would have seen by now. Okay, so this is what makes it all the more important as to why we have to be there online and share our videos with the expertise and the knowledge that we have. Now, most of the people, I mean, few of the questions that have also received speaks, would traditional learning go away if we, get into an e-learning mode? So, With the traditional learning, the classroom would be there, especially post pandemic, when people are now getting used to online learnings. We've been pushed to do online learnings. Even small kids are pushed to learn e-learning, have online sessions. So I would say not all, because traditional learning has its own charm, has its own benefits. However, I would say that almost 30% of the learnings can be shifted to, online or e-learning trainings, right? And again, it depends upon the kind of topics. Like, somebody had asked me about accounting topics. So yes, accounting, Excel training, technical trainings, most of it can go online. The biggest reason also would be anywhere, anytime learning for the students as per their availability. Okay, so these kind of trainings, yes, it can go online. But suppose if you ask me something like sales training, then yes, 50% of it can go online and 50% will be traditional learning. The reason being is the kind of implementation we need for that training. But topics like history, yes, it can get into e-learning completely. Okay, so depending upon the kind of topic that you have, certain topics would go online and certain topics will still hold the traditional learning systems. So, we have to go with the flow and be prepared for how things would change around the world. Okay, so now the major question that we had, or our basic learning from today's session, is how do I convert PPT to e learning video? Okay, so here I'm going to share a small video with you. Okay, just a second. Small talk is one of the first steps in establishing relationships with your colleagues. And not to mention that a good relationship with one supervisor and liking one's co workers are consistently rated as major factors for job satisfaction. Now, this may come naturally to some, but it is a skill anyone can develop with practice. So, here are a few tips on how to do small talk at workplace. Ask why and how questions. Now, asking questions is a secret ingredient to an interesting conversation. Why and how questions lets the other person speak. Second, you have to be interested. Now, it's the secret mantra to be a successful small talk. If you are not interested, you can't be interesting. Inquire about topics that will help you find common ground. Third, ask for advice. People love when they are asked for advice. Fourth, talk less and listen more. Fifth, remember your body language cues like eye contact and not looking over their shoulder, sincere nodding and leaning can communicate interest. Smile, uncross your arms, pay attention. Nothing kills a pleasant conversation like feeling the other person doesn't care about what you're saying. Sixth, plan a graceful exit. Say goodbye and make the other person feel important. Follow these simple tips and easily master the art of small talk. Hope this video was helpful. Thank you. So guys, if you actually observe this video was done in two parts. Okay, the first part was actually a live video, and the second part, wherein you see the infographics or the points that were given, it was ideally converted from a PowerPoint to video. Now again, let me stress on the fact it isn't as easy as just converting a PPT save as video. Okay, there are a lot of things that come into, that should come into your mind while you do this. Okay, so the major mistake that we do while creating a video is simply converting it to PPT to video. But here are a few things you should keep in mind to make your course very, very interesting. Okay. The first is course content. Okay. Now, I have delivered multiple sessions on communication skills. Okay. Most of it were always classroom training. The moment we switched to online training, I realized those PPT doesn't work. The content doesn't really work that way. Okay, I do not have a blackboard to explain certain concepts or highlight certain things or write down certain examples to make them explain things better. Okay, you really need to rework on your entire course so that it is self understandable. So there shouldn't be gaps in that communication, so that students will, because of those gaps the student might not understand. So one very important thing is to rework on your course content. Second is various platforms that are required. Now, you know, for creating a video, of course, you need audio in the background. You would actually need to have certain animations, which are, of course, not just restricted to the PPT animations. And there are certain platforms that can help you create these videos. Okay, so you need to understand which platform is required for you. And third, very important thing is marketing the course. You should also know where exactly are you going to upload this course. Is it for your college? Is it for your school? Is it for a limited audience, or is it for London Learning? Is it for YouTube, or is it for Udemy or any other platform? So you need to understand where are you going to put or upload this course. Depending on that, you ideally create a video. I'm going to take you through each of these things in detail. Okay. The first thing is, how do you create the course content? Okay. Now, the most important thing is identifying and organizing the course content. What is the main objective of your course content? Now, see, if I give you an example, suppose I take up communication skills, or even if you take up Excel learning, okay, Microsoft Excel learning, we have courses like basic, intermediate, or advanced Excel learning. All right, why do we actually have these three different structures? Because the end objective of, or the end audience and the end objective of this session is very different. You can't explain people who already know much about Excel. You cannot actually explain or start from the basics. You need to start from where they know and then build up from there. So you need to first identify who's your audience, who is that who needs to understand or learn from your content, and what is the level that they want to reach. Okay, so you need to do a thorough need analysis. Analyze the target audience, as I said. Similarly, this was for Excel, but if I talk about communication skills, of course I cannot train a first time manager and a senior manager with the same kind of communication skills training. The topics, the role plays, the case studies would be very, very different. So I need to analyze what is my target audience, and basis that you need to create an objective and identify the course content. Now, unless you do not structure the course content, you will never be able to understand what is it that you wish to cover in the course. So please do not blindly convert your PPT to video. You really need to sit down, structure your course like the way you do it in school or colleges, or every year, that for fifth class or for BSc first year or an engineering first year, this is how much a student needs to learn. So you need to understand basis that what is the course content that you would like to put and what should be the objective. Now, once you do that, also define the course sequence. It should be in a logical flow, of course, as we all know that. But defining the course sequence can only help you sound logical and would be easy for the audience to understand. And please do not forget to add case studies or activities to make it interesting. Now, one of the major challenges that I personally faced when I moved from classroom training to e-learning trainings was activities. Okay. Now, doing activities when you are there in the classroom, understanding the vibes of the classroom, understanding how people are feeling, or understanding, or creating that kind of energy in the classroom is much more easier than doing it online, to be very frank, right? So the kind of activities that you would be adding into the videos, or the kind of case studies that you will be adding into the videos, will change drastically when it comes to e-learning. Okay, so you need to be very very mindful of the activities and the case studies that you're doing. Probably very long case studies cannot help. Okay, having shorter case studies can make it very easy for other person to understand and also have a grip over what you're trying to say. Okay, so also work on the case studies and the activities. Okay, now if you see on this slide, um, here I have put in across 6 points. Okay, now how would I really you have just seen a 2 minutes almost 1 minute 50 seconds video wherein I have just given an introduction of this topic. Okay, wherein I have just put in the 6 important points. Now, these 6 important points is just to tell this is how, what are the techniques. But unless you do not learn those techniques, you will not be able to implement it as an audience. Okay. So, what should be my next strategy? My next strategy while creating this course should be getting into the details of each and every pointer here. So when I say ask why and how questions, ideally I should have a small, a video on how do I ask why and how questions. Okay, or how do I look interested while talking, or how do I ask for an advice. Now I'm not asking you to be restricted to one video per topic. It's not like that. Depending upon the topic that you have, you can understand how do I divide into small chunks of content. Okay, one very important thing while creating an e-learning video, it's my experience and it's my opinion. Well, there are people who would still like to go for longer videos, but by understanding today's generation, I strongly feel that the attention span of today's generation is very 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 small. Okay, and suppose if I mean, you would have realized if there's one small topic that you would like to understand or you want to learn about it, you would rather prefer to directly jump to that thing rather than looking at the entire video. If you have observed today YouTube, when you search for some X thing, like if I say how do I add pivot tables in Excel. Okay, if you search this, even the YouTube Google search will tell you that in a video of 1 hour, this is the place where you ideally will get an answer to your question. Now, why has it added that kind of feature? Because people are not interested to watch a 1 hour video. They would rather like to go ahead and see exactly the point wherein they'll get their answer. So people have uploaded a 1 hour video. YouTube have just tried to, help the audience go directly to that point. Okay, but since you're starting now in creating e-learning videos, it would be really great if you could divide this entire information in small chunk video, a 2 minute video, a 5 minute video, a 7 minute video. But I believe that should be it. The longer your videos, the less interesting it becomes for the audience. Rather, most of my audience and the participants that I really understand from them is, if they go and do a search on kind of an information and then they see a video which is 2 minutes and then they see a video which is 8 minutes, they would first like to go and see the 2 minutes video just to understand if this person is directly coming to the point, and I'll learn from it and move ahead. So when you're creating a course content, you are deciding upon the sequence. I would suggest that if a topic is long enough, so if my topic on asking for advice is long enough, I should further divide it into 2 3 different small videos. Okay, and that's like human psychology. Okay, I've completed one more video. Okay, I've completed the next video. So it's just a human psychology which makes you feel good. Or if it is an endless video, it's like, oh god, I've still not finished this video. So always try to go ahead with shorter videos and decide your course sequence accordingly. Okay, now the second important thing, that is platform. Okay, now what are the different platforms that you would require? One would be for video maker. There are ample of video maker platforms out there. See, on PPT, it's very difficult to add the audio and the video simultaneously. But what happens is when I'm trying to create a video, I need to match my words with the animation of the infographic that I'm adding on the PPT. Okay, so it's not like you just play the audio and accordingly put the animations, because it's very difficult to tune in. So there are a lot of video maker platforms that can help you trim the audio, trim, or even the animations that you have, you can slow it down, you can make it fast. So there are a lot of different platforms that can help you with these kind of features. Or there are platforms that can help you add backgrounds to your videos, or one who can brighten up your videos, or maybe they can help you with you know uh, adding a lot of animations in the infographics. So you need to choose the right video maker platform to decide which is the best for the understanding of the audience. Of course, it cannot be overloaded with infographics, and neither it should be like very less information. Always balance between what you are saying and what should be there on the screen. Otherwise, people will tend to just watch what you have put it there, and they may just not listen to what you're saying. So both of the things need to be in balance. All right. Second, you also need to decide the audio platform. Now, a few of the video makers will already have inbuilt audio feature, and how do you really trim it and tune it to the video that is being played. But certain platforms may not be helpful there. So when you are trying to add an audio to the e-learning video, this audio can, at times you may have certain noises or distractions in the background, or your volume would be low and you need to increase the volume, or at times you feel the pitch is low. So all these things can be changed in the audio. Now, working on that can make your video much more easy to understand and audible. Okay, so you have different platforms for audio. And third, you also have different platform for animations. Now, animations is something that really attracts people. Okay, if you see nowadays, people believe a lot in infographics. So I have been using this word constantly. So infographics, it's more like a smart art that word gives you, a pop and gives it. But believe me, those may not look so interesting. Then there are different infographic platforms that are available that can make it very very interesting in terms of the content that you have. So basis the content, they can have nice designs, nice colors. If you have corporates as your audience, you may choose to have neutral colors and a little more sophisticated look. But for students, you may like to have more colorful and much more interesting graphics. So all these platforms are available, which you can understand, choose from them, and then create or co-create a complete video. Okay, so basically these three things is what you learn. These three things are most important for creating e-learning videos. Now, other than that, there are many other platforms that can ideally transform your videos. Now, if you see in the recent, in last 1 or 2 years, people have come up with beautiful videos. You open Facebook, LinkedIn, you open YouTube's, and you will realize that people have done it on their own and used multiple other platforms to make it much more beautiful, and depending upon the kind of topic that they are taking. So having beautiful backgrounds, lot of things. Okay, there are many such platforms that can help you, again, add a jinx or add some spark to your videos. So yes, so once you decide on the course content, you also need to decide upon your platform that you are going to use to make it very interesting, right? Now, third, marketing. Okay. Now, would I be uploading my video on various learning platforms like Udemy, LinkedIn Learning? Okay. Uh, See, so things like Udemy is almost available on smart TV. Okay, so you also need to understand where exactly you're uploading. Now, if you are by chance using it only for your clients, Like, suppose I have created a course on leadership training, or I've created a course on maybe email writing. What ideally I would do is I'll create a very detailed course as if I'm standing right in front of the audience in a classroom training, wherein I'm giving them certain activities, correcting them where they are going wrong. And for that, what I have to do is, when I have certain emails, I may just try to circle it. Even in my video, I need the way, if I do it on Blackboard, I'll circle and say, see, this is where the mistake is. So similarly, I have to do that in my video as well. So I'm creating the content in a very detailed way. This is done if I'm selling my video to my client. Okay. And but imagine if I'm doing it on Udemy or LinkedIn Learning, I would rather love to have it much more concise, because generally the audience that I get there would not be the ones who would be interested in generally, see, if it is done for my client, I'll do a 12 to 15 hours of email writing course, which will be as detailed as this. But if it is for Udemy and LinkedIn Learning, I will restrict myself to 1 or max 1.5 hour course. That's it. So you need to understand that if I'm by chance putting across or uploading my videos on Udemy and LinkedIn Learning, it needs to be very concise. Or if I am creating a course for my students, it needs to be very detailed. Okay. So depending upon that, depending upon that, you need to decide how long your course content would be, and then select the major topics, how many activities that you require, how much detail that you're going to get into the course, and accordingly create your course. Now, although these things seem easy, but believe me, the entire interest of the audience lies in how you are ideally going to, how your content is ideally going to come out. Okay, it largely depends upon if you are fulfilling the objective of the audience. As simple as this. If somebody on Udemy sees it's a 16-hour course, they'll just say, no, I can't sit for 16 hours and go through this. It's not possible. Okay, but if it is my corporate who's doing it, they'll ensure that my participants, they get into a detailed learning of these things. If you're doing it for your students, I'm sure you would want them to learn in detail all these things. So depending upon this, create your course. Okay. Sorry. Now here I'm going to show you a small video on how I have ideally converted a PPT to an e-learning video. Okay. Sorry, just a second. Okay. See, this is a PPT that I have created. Okay. Now here, I've just tried to explain a little bit differences on classroom training and e-learning videos. So these are the 3 points. These are the 3 points. I've tried to add certain icons here, tried to make it a little more colorful and infographic oriented. Now this is a simple PPT. All right. But how I have converted to a video, now I'll explain it to you. Classroom trainings have 3 hidden gems that brings a beauty to the entire course. And I call them hidden because it has nothing to do with the content, but more to do with the format. And they are: first is social interaction. The biggest opportunity that classroom training presents is the ability to discuss, brainstorm, question, collaborate, practice, and role play all live and with guidance from the facilitator on hand. These interactions make the learners feel as a part of a group and hold themselves more accountable, which certainly are powerful learning tools. And unfortunately, e learning will not be able to offer us this opportunity. Second is personalization of training. While in classroom training, you know the audience whom you are addressing. You can understand their requirement through various questions they raise or scenarios they discuss. You understand their pulse, pace of learning, and more importantly, where do they currently stand in terms of the knowledge of the topic. Considering all these factors, you modify the way you deliver the training, like changing the examples, the pitch, at So guys, if you ideally see that video, although yes, I have tried to design it on PPT, but there is audio which goes in sync with the animation of the in sync with the animation of the words that are coming there. Even the rate, the pitch, the volume that you need to take care while you are trying to add audio, it needs to be very very clear. Okay, it cannot be very fast, it cannot be very slow. So there are a lot of things, small things that you should keep in mind while you create such videos. Okay, and this was just a sample on how I have created PPT with use of different platforms into a video. Okay, so thank you so much. Hope this session could give you some insights on how do you really plan your content, and how do you really plan your e-learning video before you actually just change it or transform from or save it from PPT just as a video. So there's a lot of back end work that goes in it. Okay. Now, along with this, I would also like to take you through our masterclass training agenda. Now, since I have also been into, working as an e-learning consultant with some of the corporates, I have created a course on how do you create e-learning videos. Okay. Now, what are the things that I generally would cover in this course is one is instructional design. Now, this is one of the most important part of any training. Let it be classroom, let it be e-learning. Okay, even for classroom, instructional design is something you need to be very careful while you design the course. So I'm going to take you through certain techniques, strategies that you use there while you design a classroom content versus you design an e-learning content, because the outlook and the strategy is very different. Second, how are you going to build an e-learning content, the changes that are required? So I take you through certain examples, very much certain examples, making you explain that how was this into a classroom content and how this is actually done for an e-learning content. Third is how do you hold audience attention? So there are again lot of different techniques you use. So right from the look and feel of the video, the look and feel of the content, and your audio, all these things really matters to hold the audience attention. So I'm sure even if today you see a small animated video, it needs to be really attractive to you. Again, that depends upon the audience. All right. So my 2-year-old kid, when he looks at TV, he looks at the cartoons. Believe me, today's cartoons makes it very very interesting for them. But of course, they will certainly is not something that will appeal to me. So it's very important understanding your audience, and for what audience, how can you hold their attention. So there are different ways you do that. Okay, fourth is designing your course. Now when you design your course, there are different tools or platforms required. It can be animations, screen recording, visuals that you can use. So I take you through all of these, and rather I would introduce you to all of these platforms. They're very easy to use at times, and there can be certain tips and tricks that are used for using these platforms. I take you through that as well. Audio recording, what is the process, the platform, the do's and don'ts, and other important things. Okay. Finally, an e-learning final. So when I say e-learning final, so you worked on your audio, you worked on your content, you worked on your video. Now it's very important that you get a platform to merge all of them in terms of animations, editing video, audio, etc. Okay, and of course promoting your course. So I'll also explain you what are the different platforms that you can promote your course, and how does that work. So if you actually see, if you suppose you're uploading a course on Udemy, it happens that the income that you get is shared by Udemy and you. All right, but if you're doing it directly to a client, it will be completely yours. So there are a lot of also terms and conditions while you promote your course, and of course every platform will have its own advantages, disadvantages, and I'll take you through all of them so that you get a better idea about how this entire e-learning video ideally works as a process. Okay. Now, so to know more about this detailed masterclass session, you can always WhatsApp us on these two numbers. It is 9247573333 or 9949098723. Or you can also send your queries to info@firstimpressions.in. All right, or maybe you can just connect with Shazur or ping us directly here, and we can help you further on understanding what this course is all about. All right, so that's it for today, and so Shazur.
That was great. Thanks a lot. It was very interesting. I had noted down some of my points for my learning also. They were
Okay.
great points there. So I wanted to ask about the master class. How master class would be beneficial for professor or students? Can you elaborate on that more?
Okay. All right. So I think professors, students for both. One, I always believe that irrespective of what your age is, irrespective of what your profession is, today everybody, each of the individual will certainly have some kind of expertise. All right, and if you just try to just go online and try to put it there in terms of words, people may not understand what you're doing. It's
Right.
very important. As I said, personal branding has become the key for career growth today. Okay, so it's very important that you put it in a proper e-learning video or in short a video. Let people understand what your expertise is and get there. Now, this is for
Mm,
all general public. Now, specifically, if you ask me about professors, I think when this pandemic specifically have cancelled all the sessions and have forced them to probably to get into virtual sessions, e-learning videos can be really helpful if they want to just create a video, send it across to their students, and they can probably learn any time of the day, and they can actually have a greater reach in terms of students. Why just to stick to some specific university? If the university allows you, why not have a better reach?
exactly.
So
Yeah.
many students can benefit from it, and
Yeah.
rather students, if you see a 12-year-old guy or an 18-year-old guy, if they are really interested, I'm sure today's children are so very intelligent, so
Yeah.
very smart. They will have their own niche, they will have their own specialization. I'm sure this is a great platform to brand themselves.
That's true. I think more than students should help professors nowadays to create their e-learning content.
Oh, that's a very great idea.
Yeah,
You're technologically savvy.
yeah, they are more, technology savvy than the professors.
Yes.
So, thank you so much again. I hope everyone enjoyed the session, and we have received a good number of questions, but I will handpick around four or five. So we will have. So there was a question from Dr. Elvina from Saint Xavier's Institute of Education. She's an assistant professor. Thank you for this question. How to make presentations student centered?
Okay. Um, I think the only way you do this is getting into the audience shoes. Okay. Now, as a teacher, as an educator, as a trainer, we will always know what type of questions generally would come to a student's mind, okay, or an audience mind. Even if you're in a classroom training, even if you're trying to explain it on the phone also, you will certainly know that these are the type of questions people may have in their mind. And that kind of intuition or that kind of understanding of the audience would really help you create this course content. Now there's nothing difficult. As I said, see, the only difference would be when I'm there in the classroom, I have a blackboard or a whiteboard to write, explain, circle, stress, and understand the
Mm,
facial expression of the student. That's the only thing which is missing in e-learning, if you ask me.
right, right.
And believe me, when I enter into a corporate session, 80% or 90% of the times I know what are the questions that are going to occur in my audience mind. I mean, that's how educators are, and it would be true for all of them. So if you know those 80 and 90% of the question and that you can answer through your video, I think that is more than enough. It becomes student centered, right? Like as I said, if I have to explain email writing, I know generally these are the 15 places where people go wrong. I
Mm,
need to just think beforehand. In classroom, I can just think on the go, and there I can circle. But when I am doing it in the e-learning, I need to just think beforehand and create the content accordingly. And animations can certainly help you encircle, bold, underline things, and
yeah.
stress out things. Those are different tools that I use, but the logic is exactly same while you do it for classroom training. So this
Mm,
is how it happens. So just one thing you should keep in mind when you are communicating or trying to train somebody, please understand that you should get minimum number of questions returned back. If
mm,
you have that idea in your mind, you will answer all your questions in your presentation.
great, great. So since you spoke about tools, we have another question on that from Dr. N. Subhashini. She's an assistant professor from SRM Valiamai Engineering College. Thanks for the question. Needs to know about free interactive tools.
We have grown up in an era wherein Google helps us all.
So you're saying just Google it?
No, no, no. So I'm just coming to your point. So, as I said, MBA wouldn't have been possible without Google.
That's
So
true.
I don't know if Google wouldn't have been there, how would have cleared our MBAs.
Yeah.
But frankly speaking, there are ample of free interactive tools in Google, on online. Okay, believe me, there can be tools like Canva, or there can be tools which can, there are multiple, and every other day the technology is upgrading. There are people who are coming up with new tools, Flamora, and there are many other tools that are available. Okay,
So what were the two tools that you mentioned? Canva?
Canva and Flamora are,
Remora.
yes, they are the tools which are there. But what I always suggest is, see, it depends a lot upon the kind of topic that you have taken. So you need to
Mm,
understand what is your topic, what is your audience, what is your marketing for. Then decide what is the kind of animations that you want to put it there,
mm,
right?
mm,
And
mm.
every subject will need a different type of animation, a different type of end result. Okay, so even if you see food recipe videos today, they are very cool. They are not like earlier videos actually getting into the kitchen and showing you very beautifully made. So depending upon your audience and your topic, you need to choose which tool. So I cannot
True.
really tell you this is the tool you should use. And there are a lot of inbuilt softwares in today's laptops. So you may just choose HP laptop or an Apple laptop.
Mm,
There are a lot of inbuilt tools. Depending upon your this, you have to explore and then take it ahead. So in my training session, I will take you through different tools, explain you in detail what is the good things, what is it not right for, and then maybe you can decide thereon.
So I can say, yeah. So you have heard her favorite. I mean, topmost two favorite probably, but it's all depend on what your requirement is. So yeah, you can. What keywords would you think Dr. Subhasini should search for? Like interactive, free interactive tool or editing tool?
Maybe you can just try to put in as, suppose you are into education, so maybe you can write free e-learning, make video maker tools for
Uh,
uh,
nice. Yeah.
for schools, colleges. Maybe just try that. Yeah, Google is all about keywords. The more
Yeah.
related keywords you put, the more what do you say, specific answers you will get. Yeah.
Great, great. So I will move on to another question. Probably, I don't know which number this is. So this is coming from Dr. Nafisa. She's a professor again from the Quaide Millet College for Men. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. So thanks for this question, Dr. Nafisa. So the question is how to convert the online classes to e-modules for accounting subjects. Wow, accounting subjects. Oh, wow.
Okay. So unfortunately, I'm not from accounting background. All I understand is it's maths. It's would require a lot of tables in the design part is what I can understand. But here I can give you a suggestion using Excel, but not just Excel, but live screening of Excel can help. Now, this is something which I would say is um, specific or something which is, it's a technique that I have to explain you. Like if you see, there are a lot of apps, they will show you how it works on my app. You click here, you click that, so you'll not see the hand movements, you just see it scrolls, and then you can see that, right? Similarly, what you type on Excel, how this data gets added, or the kind of functions you use in accounting, how it
Mm,
works, would ideally be a screen sharing, sorry, a screen recording kind of thing, which you can inculcate in your video. Okay, and you can be live. Well, I mean, you can show yourself live in front of that Excel to explain what's going on here.
right,
So there's a lot of coordination that is required. Different platforms can help you there. Rather, of course, when we also will get into this our class, I will certainly take you through how do you match them and how do you really create that screen recording.
great. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking if I can add more points to your answer. When
Uh-huh.
it comes to accounting subjects, yeah, it's a tough question.
Yes, I can understand it's maths,
Yeah.
it's a multiplication or whatever functions, mathematical functions, which I think Excel would be the right tool to display. But how you display it creatively would be very, very important, because if you don't do it creatively, people will not understand what you're doing. And
Yeah, if someone knows how to use Excel, they can create graphical Excel sheets also.
yes,
So yeah, if
uh,
really fond of Excel, you can do
pro
magical things on
Excel,
Excel. Yeah. Cool.
poetic. Yeah.
I will take the other another question is from Pinto Delon.
Uh-huh.
The question is from KVS Hisar. How can we make and use e-modules for teaching students at primary level?
Okay, here,
Sounds hard, but primary level students probably they're learning already from Google or online.
so I actually have a question. When you say primary level, is it 4-year-old kid?
I think so.
Yes. So
Yeah.
if it's a 4-year-old kid, say I told you I have a 2.5-year-old baby. Okay? And when he watches the TV specifically, there are a lot of nice channels, Coco Melon, and then you have, I don't know, for Jojo. Now I've also learned those names and cartoons. Believe me, he has learned drastically looking at those videos. Okay, and you won't believe, when I sit with him, I realize how attractive these videos are. They engage you also as adults, okay, at times,
Yeah.
because we have some very nice way of introducing the concepts. At
Yeah.
primary level, what would really interest the kids are lot of colors, lot of animations, lot of cuteness. Okay, not because I'm a girl, but believe me,
Yeah.
people love cute characters. Okay, so and they could relate to it. They can relate to animals also shown in a very cute way. Uh, I feel, okay, now personally, I feel that would require a lot of, what do you say, a lot of high end animation skills, which you generally will get it as a certificate. You actually get into learning softwares like Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrators. So there are
Yeah,
a lot of different softwares that you want to learn if you really want to create that kind of content.
yeah.
But if I have to put it, that since it is online, since it's pandemic, and since you still have to put something online, please try to have big letters, try to have colorful things, try to add cartoons, try to add, there would be a lot of cartoons available in transparent background. Put it there on your slides and try to make them wiggle woggle if you could do it the best, or maybe GIFs that you can put it there. All
Hmm.
is the audience requirement. So, and as long
Yeah.
as it makes them smile and this, that's how you have to create it.
Yeah, I have seen those YouTube videos as well, the Choo Choo TV, stuff like that. I mean, they are like a very, yeah, very high 3D animations. And what I see is they pick the topics that they are interacting in daily life. Like they don't want to eat, so there's a song about how do you eat.
Yes, yes.
So you brush your teeth. So they have a song about brushing your teeth.
Now they have for COVID also. Wash your
Oh,
hands,
okay.
your shoes outside, wear a mask, and
Oh,
have social distance. If
oh
somebody is
my God.
coughing, don't go near to them. So they are very innovative, very quick with that. But it requires a lot of advanced animation
It
skills.
is, yeah. So I can think about 3D Maya is one of the tool and certification that you get. So I think to the answer to the question is think like a children, think like that kid, think you
Right.
are at his age. How would you convey a learning to that person or to that age? Let's say, yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Add
think.
audio songs.
Yeah, songs
And
is like magic. I mean, it goes into their head directly. So
yeah.
yeah, songs are nice. Hmm.
Rather, I'll tell you something, just to add. Very recently, I was watching one of their songs done by two, three people. Okay, all they did was all the uh, all the dark colors in his, like radium yellow, radium pink, and then they'll have those colorful wigs, and then they will dance like this, and then they will something I said, this is so annoying, but my child really loves that. I don't
Yeah,
know. Maybe
yeah.
that's because of the kind of colors that they have enhanced with, or maybe they have a song which has a rhythm, and then they have
Hmm.
these big faces that they make.
Yeah.
All these things
And you
just
can't really ask your kid what actually you liked if they can't answer that.
all I was guessing is, I don't know what is it that they like. But yeah, I think it should be the music and the
Yeah.
colors and they love faces, making faces. If somebody's
Hmm.
making faces, they love it. So maybe all these things you can consider while creating a video.
Yeah. Thank you for that question. It was great to think
Yeah. It made
what
me
kids
also
did.
think for a second.
So, viewers, we have opened the feedback form. If you want the e-certificate, the link is on the screen. It's if you go to iihrd.com/feedback form, you will able to have a green button there. So you click on it, the Google Forms comes up, you fill the form, and you will receive a certificate right away, or else up to 7 days we will process all the certificates. So anything you want to say before we leave, Mansi?
Well, any new thing that comes up, I believe any new thing, and specifically technology, which actually, changes almost every day. If we are slow at accepting it, slow at changing at any point of time, believe me, it creates a big setback in our career. Okay, one of my major chunk of today's presentation was in explaining the importance of actually moving to e-learning videos
Hmm.
and pushing it rigorously because I can see the kind of effects people will have. Okay, you will have great personal branding. More importantly, you would also have a larger audience. Okay, so
Yeah.
guys, I would push you that please start creating your e-learning videos. Please work on it. This is the thing as of now, and it may change again with time. Yes, and again we may have to change, but today this is the thing.
I
Okay,
think
don't delay it further.
I think most of the people have this fear about going wrong when they're going doing something online.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
I want to tell you, the audience, you've seen the errors that we made on the webinars. As today we were late, so it's okay. You are learning, we are also learning. This is one of the prime example that we are hosting webinars with you. We are learning, we are trying the new tools. If you see on top right or left, there's a restream thing. There's a website, that's a service that is allowing us to do a webinar and go live to YouTube. So that is one of the tool there. So this is, just think about something that you want to do online. Start searching, go out, do it, do trial and errors, break it. Even all these new tools, the restream is new, they are also making a lot of mistakes. Everyone is fine there, or everyone's learning. So I think, don't fear. You may go wrong. Everyone goes wrong. We go wrong. I go wrong all the time. So just, gather that guts, come online or do whatever. This webinar was all about e-learning. Start making your own videos. Start creating your content online. Yeah, I mean, start using tools. I mean, this is the great opportunity, great time that probably I can see from 20 years from now on, everything would be online. This is like a forced time that if we are forced to do it, to learn and everything, I think just step out, go online and start doing your stuff.
Yes, yes, yes. Very important. Change your time and start somewhere.
Yeah,
Starting at a point. Please take feedback for your session, for your e-learning videos. Take feedback from the audience, from the students. Understand what is it that they have understood, they have not understood. Again, we work maybe not on the same topic, another topic, but yes, somewhere we have to start. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. Great. All right. So we'll end up here. Thank you so much, Mansi, once again. It was great to have you again, have you on our webinar. We probably will think about doing something more with you. I
Sure.
hope all the audience liked it. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Bye
Azur,
bye.
and thanks, Mr. Rao, for giving me this opportunity and really lovely audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.